All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Forest Brothers podcast. It's your boy Mutsa Chris Don back in the cut with my two brothers Mangoro and Samson. What up, boys? Let me start with the boy Mangoro, and then over to Samson, and then we can get started with our Spurs Man United episode here. Over to you, Kosi.
Hello, listeners. This is the Forest Brothers podcast. It's good to be back, and exciting show ahead.
Yeah, dear listeners, welcome back to the Forest Brothers podcast. Once again, here with the two brothers. Gents, great to see you. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it indeed. Boys, as you can see, I've got a big smile on my face today. And I'm sure you know why. Because my boys, my Tottenham Spurs, won Battle of Relegation today. Spurs beat Man United 1-0. Vibes on vibes on vibes. James Maddison cooked them 13 minutes. And now, if we look at the table, Spurs, we currently now sit 12th in the Premier League, and Man United is all the way in 15th. So it was a must-win game for both teams, to be honest, because I believe before this game it was 14 Spurs, 15 United, something like that. So, yeah, you know what? It was a must-win game, and I'm glad that Spurs is the one that took it. But, boys, I think we didn't have this conversation last week, but we did say that Man United deserves our time. Because there's a certain brother over there who is not getting as much heat as it should be getting. And that is the brother Ruben Amorim job. Or Ruben Amorim. That's my slander name. That's what I like to call it. It's the Ruben Amorim job. Anyways, that brother, man, it's terrible. It's actually terrible. Like, I was actually trying to think, do you guys remember which position was United in before he took over? Like, what position did Rude leave them in? Do you guys remember, like, was it like 11, 10, 9,
14.
something there?
No, 14.
It was actually 14.
Yeah.
I mean, they were having...
Don't you remember the rule of sevens?
Wait, because didn't Rude won a couple of games, right?
He won one and drew two, but I think... I'm not sure if he won... Because those games he played were across different competitions.
Yeah, so it wasn't all Premier League.
He played Europa League, and I think he played Carabao Cup. I think he drew in the league twice, and he won in Europe and won Carabao.
Okay, because I was trying to think, like, so essentially Amorim has not moved from where Rude left him.
Yeah.
So,
Damn it, man.
yeah.
That's actually so crazy.
Yeah. It's bad. I mean, if you look at their form since then, it is relegation form. It is, and the only reason that they're not low in the table is because we have some generationally horrific teams that were promoted. Leicester, Ipswich, forgetting the last one.
Southampton.
Ipswich are not that bad, though, guys. Come on. I feel like Ipswich gets smoke, but those brothers, 10 men, draw to Aston Villa, they're not that horrible.
I mean, yeah, they try, but like all Ipswich have is Delap. Beyond Delap,
Hutchinson.
Sure, yeah. But beyond those guys, like that team is horrible, man. That team is really, really horrible, and that's just the problem. Like United are lucky that this is not 5 years ago, man. They're lucky that they're not facing Roberto Martinez's Wigan in the relegation race right now. They're not facing Big Sam's Everton in the relegation race right now. Like, these teams are destined to go back to the championship. That's the only reason United are going to be safe, because wow. I mean, they almost lost to Southampton at home a few weeks ago. If you guys remember, like they were outplayed for a half and the ball just couldn't go in for Southampton. So
they actually been lucky, because I'm looking at the last 5 games. Man United has won 2 games in the last 5. And so if you look at like West Ham below them, West Ham have won 1 and drew 1 in the last 5. And then Wolves have won 1 in the last 5. Yeah, you're right. Ipswich, 4 losses, 1 draw in the last 5. And then Leicester, 5 losses, 1 win. And then Southampton, 5 losses, 1 win. So Man United technically only has 1 win over the relegation battle, like in the last 5 games, essentially. Which is, yeah, as you're saying, that's not all that great. But also Spurs have only won 2 games in the last 5. So, I mean, these are things that
I mean, Spurs, we actually forgot to cook you for this, but you guys hadn't, before today, you hadn't won a home game in 3.5 months. Brother,
Why did I put it that way, son?
brother. They brought it up at the end of the game. I was shocked. I was like, there's no way.
Hey, man.
3.5 months.
Hey, man. It's terrible. But you know what? So maybe before we really get into the discussion here, Man United have suffered a lot of injuries. Like today, or like what is it? Ahmad, they lost Ahmad to an injury yesterday in training,
Yeah.
and Mainu's not there. Ericsson was out sick, so you couldn't even be in the midfield today. Mount is not there. They let go of Rashford, which again, stupid. I get the PR I like around Rashford, but if we all were to talk about just the decision alone, given how thin because like if you saw the bench today, kids,
Yeah.
just kids.
I think it was Lindelof and everyone else was a teenager.
Yeah, and unknown teenagers too, right? I mean, people, except for Chido, I don't know if he's like popular or anything. Anyway, but point of the matter is, Rashford didn't have to go. That was not something that needed to happen, I mean, and again, Amorim, that's because of Amorim, right? I think is now following into that Eric Ten Hag pattern of, I know better. If I'm saying you ain't playing, my nigga, you ain't playing. And I'm sure he says it exactly like that. If you ain't playing, my nigga... you ain't touching pitch.
I mean, he did have that outrageous quote where he said, like, I wouldn't play him over the 67-year-old goalkeeping coach. Like, some wild stuff like that. Like,
Exactly.
bro, how do you say that about someone in your team? Like, I don't even think Mourinho would have said that. Like, he said that in a press conference to a journalist. Like,
how bad is Rashford? Like, maybe there's something I'm missing. Like, is this guy, like, is there actually something? Like, I'm curious. Like, is he a drunkard? Is he an addict? Is he a gambler? Maybe you guys have more inside knowledge about Rashford, but what exactly is it about him that these guys just don't like?
I would say it's just the character. You know, when sometimes a coach comes into a changing room for the first time and he wants to make a statement and he picks one player that he sees that if I can put this player in line, the whole dressing room will respect me. And for Amorim, it's Rashford. For Ten Hag, it was Sancho. So he wants to make sure that his authority is felt in the dressing room. So he's doing this to Rashford. And just on the quotes, these are not even like the last quotes that he's mentioned, Amorim. I think like last year, I think it was sometime last year as well, like end of last year, where I think they had lost a game and he said, this is the worst Manchester United in history. Like he openly said that. This is your coach who is openly saying you are the worst in history. Like what kind of confidence do you give to the people above you and these players that are playing for you? Like that you can turn it around if you're now saying this. Like they're already low and you're even making it worse. So I don't know what this guy Amorim, man.
Has it ever worked?
Even second Duke, he was saying we were trying some things in training, but once we saw the level of the players, we had to change them. And I was like, that's nuts. That is crazy, man. Like, you can't just trash people like that and expect them to perform.
Nah, that'll be roasting them. But I'm just saying, like, has it actually ever worked? Like, when a coach comes in and singles out a player, makes an example of them, and then everyone falls in line. Like, has that worked anywhere in football?
Nope. Case in point, United, Mourinho and Pogba. At the end of the day, Mourinho left, Pogba came back. Multiple cases. It's never worked. It's like it's a recipe for disaster, basically.
Yeah, I'd say you can only do that if you are 100% in the right. Like, when I think back to Aubameyang leaving Arsenal, Arteta was 100% right because that brother was captain and he was not doing captain things. He was coming late to training, he was slouching on the field, all that stuff. So if the problem is that obvious, then yes, you fix that problem, you terminate his contract, it works. But the Rashford we see on the pitch is not the one you're describing, my guy. The Pogba we see is not the man you describe. Like, these guys are inventing, these ideas of people, and it's just not true. So it's like, how's that going to work?
Has it ever happened with a white player? Because it always seems to be beef with it, like Sancho, Rashford. Maybe the whitest one might be Cristiano with Ten Hag, but I don't know if Ten Hag was. I don't know. Maybe that was more like an ego thing, but I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know if it's ever happened to, like, let's say an Odegaard or like oh yeah, I'm just really having trouble with this guy, man. Like, nah. Diego Costa maybe, but I don't even know if that's been an issue with him and coaches not getting along.
I mean, because would you say Kepa as an example? Because I do remember there was that whole thing of him refusing to come off, but then
he played the next game. He played the next game, so
the next game.
Kind of, yeah. It's always brothers. These coaches always target brothers.
It is always brothers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
maybe the brothers do misbehave also.
Do they? Because again, it's that same thing we see in the English media all the time, right? Where it's like, for example, there was that article that came out about Man City, like, Foden. When Foden was getting paid large amounts of money and he was like buying properties and stuff, the media was like, look at this young man investing in his wealth and his future. And then there's like another player at Man City, black kid, also getting the bag, buying properties. Like, look at this kid, man, doesn't get game time, is buying properties. What's that about? It's just that, and then even like the soccer thing, and like the disparity between reports of like, or maybe even like the Lewis Skelly and Haaland thing, where like maybe a player or like Mope or Vardy can imitate someone's celebration and it's fine, but if a black player does it, it's like, yo. Or if it's that thing about respect, like, you can't do that, but it's usually targeted to black people, black players, as compared to when a white guy does it. It's like, no, you're just fucking around. Come on.
That's the funniest thing, because like the Lewis Skelly thing, you saw it so clearly. I think that there's a show that happens in the UK. It's called The Overlap, where old retired players talk to fans. And there was an episode where they had Scholes and Carragher on stage talking about the Skelly celebration. And someone asked him, what's the difference between what Skelly did and what Mope does? And he said, the Mope just taking the piss, isn't he? I was like, he said without hesitation, without like he said, like, what Skelly did, that's unacceptable. He's a young player. What does he want? Mope just taking a piss. Like, same sentence. Like, he didn't even stop. Like, and by the way, if you want to ask what Mope has on, go look at his trophy cabinet. That brother has nothing. So like, literally the only difference there was race, and you could see it very clearly that they don't even think about it. Like, it's just programmed into them. Like, black player does it, what does he want? White player does it, just banter, guys. Come on, get over it.
It's calm.
It's like second nature for them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if Grealish was black, all my days. Could you imagine?
Bro, he'd be in jail right now.
So I don't know if it's like that thing with players, but anyway, we got sidetracked a bit. But it's just like a wider discussion, because again, we see Rashford is now cooking at Aston Villa. The only reason they even scored that goal was because of a deflection off the post that he took from a free kick that was really good. And he's looked really good for Aston Villa, actually. So you now start to wonder, like, okay, Man United, your bench is thin, your squad is thin. What was the reason? And looking at the game today, hey man, it was not looking good out there. I have to say, it was not. Casemiro was clearly struggling. That brother was not having a good game.
Man.
And I mean, also Spurs do have injury problems. So people only getting back now. Like today, Vicario's his first day back. Madison first day back. Johnson first day back. We're still missing Van and Ven. We're still missing Romero. So yeah, but now Man United, it's their turn to also have injury problems. So I don't know if people are trying to say, oh, look at us with thin squad, by Spurs is also like, and Son has been kind of out of form all season, to be honest.
Yeah.
So it was just terrible, man. it was just a terrible showing today. And Garnacho, of course, missed that open sitter. Like,
That brother's
yeah,
horrible, man. I still don't understand. Man United had an offer on the table, 65 million from Atletico Madrid. Why did they not accept it? Why? This brother cost you pennies. 65 million. Do you do they know who Ganacho is, bro? Are they aware? That's 65 million. You're not touching Europe. I don't know why they didn't take that. Just I don't get it.
yeah. That actually doesn't make sense. And there's something else I was thinking. Anthony's cooking at Betis, right? Today he scored a goal. That's 4 goals and assists in his last 3 games. So what is it? What is it, guys? Like I don't understand. Like when a player leaves United, they go and flourish elsewhere. Even McTominay, he's flourishing in Italy, right? So I don't know. Where's the internal, internal, guys? What are we doing? Because clearly it's something here that's going on, and I don't know. So what are y'all's impressions of Amorim, man? Is he actually good at what he does? Maybe I'll ask Mangoro or just your assessment of the boy. Because my last thing about this is Amorim didn't make a single substitution in that game until the 90th minute when he took off Casemiro and brought on that Chido kid. Casemiro played 90 minutes today and he hadn't touched pitch in months, right? And so I know people are saying, what could we do? There were kids on the pitch, but I'm just saying, yo, man, throw a Hail Mary on there. Give a kid their moment. Like, you could actually, bring on the next Wayne Rooney or the next Cristiano Ronaldo. Just give a kid a chance to actually shine.
It's literally 1-0.
Okay, relax there, Mutsa. Those children are all garbage. Like, the best one is being brought on because apparently he scored a hat-trick against Chelsea's under-18s the other day. That was the only reason why he came on. Maybe he could continue that form. That was the reasoning behind bringing him on. But
at 90 minutes, Mangoro. Like, if they bring him on at 70, I can understand that. But what is it supposed to do with 3 minutes left of extra time?
hey man, give the boy a debut. But yeah, the bench was looking quite horrible. They were I think some kid, they looked like he was 5 years old, but he was on the bench. So it's never too late to become a professional player. But I think all in all, United as an entity and the manager, I'm starting to doubt him. I had a bit of faith in him. I think it's just the club needs to close shop at this point. I think they're still living on past glory, and that's what's hurting them the most. They're living on, whenever you hear the pundits speak, whenever the cameras pan to Sir Alex and them, it's former glory. How long has it been now? We're touching close to 12 years now since that time. So, and I think they're still living on that. They need to move away from that, form a new identity, where they can then call themselves Manchester United. And they're just some players there that they have, that they're fielding currently that are just, and I've said it before, are just not good enough for the Premier League. Rasmus Højlund last scored a tap-in December against Nottingham Forest. 7th of December, he scored a tap-in. And he has played center forward every game since then. I don't know how many games that is. That is a lot of games. Just absolute garbage. 70 million spent. Here at Atalanta, take this money. And this is a striker. Absolute terrible business. Garnacho, I think if Chelsea signed him for that 60 mil that they were talking about, that would have been criminal business. We would have had to riot. I would have had to go out there to Blue Co and have a serious word with the people there. That chance that Garnacho missed, my God. And the whole game, some of the stuff he was doing, I know he's young and all we can say he's young, but I don't think he should play. I think Crystal Palace is his level. That's where he should be at. He shouldn't be playing okay, maybe he could be playing for Manchester United because this is not like a fluke or anything. This is the new normal for Manchester United. There isn't anything. Bruno, Casemiro, Casemiro goes to the field to pick up yellow cards now. That guy is not good enough anymore. And at the back, Onana, my God. Like, that guy, Lenioro, I think he does cover a lot of the good things at United at the back, all the mistakes. when he's not there, a lot of people get exposed. But I don't know. I think Manchester United fans should just accept that this is their new reality, and road to 40 points begins now. Because if they're still talking about Europe or anything along those lines, top half finish, they must forget it. And it's not banter or anything, it's the honest truth. If they take it as banter, fair enough, they'll continue having the chest pains because the chest pains will continue to land if they think they can do something this season. The season is over, they should prioritize getting to 40 points and then start thinking about the summer now. I did mention this prior that when Amorim took the job, he should stop coaching. He was supposed to be at Dan Ashworth's store. I don't know whose store is going to be at now because Dan Ashworth was fired. Upstairs asking for 1 billion because we're seeing what's being fielded out there. What's being fielded out there is absolutely terrible. Like those brothers, they are terrible. Like in all honesty, and I think the crowning one is definitely Rasmus Højlund. Rasmus Højlund should go play at I don't even know, play in Qatar, somewhere where he can maybe score goals and get his confidence up because they're United. That's United centre forward for the next generation. They'll continue to be a bottom half team.
And Xerxes was there too, by the way. Let's not forget, Xerxes played the entire game with them. Those are the men. There's two.
No comment.
There was a moment I remember in the game where, I think it had just been a corner, and they're trying to counter or something, and Xerxes was about to start running, and another Spurs player just came from behind him, gapped him, and Xerxes just stopped. He's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna compete here." I was like, "Damn it, Xerxes."
There was a stat, interestingly enough, where I think in the second half, where you could tell Man U were shot, they were finished, and I think they said something along the lines of Xerxes and Højlund cost United close to 140 mil. They've played 45 times, and amongst them they have 5 goals.
Sheesh.
Yeah. That's how dire the situation is there. That's just my take.
And also, Mikel Merino, the guy who was moonlighting for us at striker on the weekend, has scored more goals than both those guys this season. He has 4. In case you're wondering, it's not a lot. But yeah, I had like Mongoro, I had a lot of faith in Amorim. I thought he was doing a great job at Sporting, but again, I have to criticize him a little bit because as terrible as these guys are, I still feel like you can. The way you set up some of these teams, the decisions you make can influence the game. Because Spurs weren't far away from you. Spurs could have scored more, but you also created enough to score. It's just that you have horrible attackers on the pitch. That being said, at 60 minutes, 70 minutes, 80 minutes, 90 minutes, the game is at 1-0. I can't remember the last time Spurs has kept a clean sheet. I'm sure you can count the times in your hand.
It's been a while.
Exactly. In all competitions even, you can count them on your hand for sure. This is not a solid team, right? These guys were creating opportunities. I saw Højlund take a defender outside, then bring him back in and shoot. Højlund did that. Surely you can create more if you just make some changes. And this is where I disagree with you, Mongor. Taking off Casemiro only at 90 minutes is criminal. It is so criminal. It is so bad. I think that brother, because I think I saw him, it was maybe sometime in the second half, early in the second half, when he got his yellow card. He got his yellow card and he faked an injury. At that moment, I would have taken him off. That is the moment to say, you know what, you're done. You are done. I am done with this. I am bringing on more attackers. I'm bringing on that 17-year-old DM that they've been raving about. Anyone is better than this. And it's just my guy, you have to take a risk. He's married to this 3-4-3. It doesn't fit the players he has. My guy, at some point, just try win the game. try and respond to what you're seeing. You can see that Spurs are looking a little shaky back there. You can see that the game's there for the taking. Just try something. Just give something a go. And also, Garnacho, I mean, okay, fine, you can't finish. Sure. A lot of young players can't finish. You mean to tell me you can't see when a player's making an overlap? 90 minutes, Patrick Dorgu is overlapping, bro. Just bursting lungs every minute, overlapping. This brother's not receiving the ball. He's right there. How are you not passing the ball 2 meters to your left? It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Xerxes, how did he pass a physical? How did he pass a physical? How? Oh my
Now,
days.
whoever scouted that brother actually needs to get shot. I'm sorry. But whoever said, bring that Xerxes kid here, that person, not even a job, they actually deserve to get shot. Like, in the leg maybe, or the ankle, just to be out. But I will say, though, as you're saying, Sanye, Spurs were looking wide open today. Like, we didn't actually have a good game. Like, we were playing like shit for most of it. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, anytime actually United were on the counter or attacking, I was like, this could be a goal right here. This could actually be a goal. Because at the end of the day, our back four is... Like, Poro will make a run and doesn't track back. So there's a lot of space on the left-hand side. So much space that you can attack. Davies, whatever. He's not good. We don't have Romero. We don't have Van de Ven. Right? Jet Spence had an amazing game. But Jet Spence is a kid. You can know more than Jet Spence. Like, you're telling me Holland, Xerxes, Bruno, Garnacho, Spence is good, but come on, he's not world class. I love the kid, but he's not world class. You can make it happen. So Danzo, it's also, yeah, I mean, we don't have world class defenders. Like, we're actually not that good. I can honestly say we're actually not that good. And to be honest, Tell had a shit game today. I was actually very surprised. Tell, like, I had a lot of faith in him, but instead of making easier passes, he decided to shoot, and the shot would be so weak. I'm like, brother, why did you even try it? Why did you even try that? Like, he had so many of those moments, so I'm just like, man, this kid, if we actually end up losing this or drawing this game, it's because of Tell. Like, Tell, man, come on. So, Man United had every chance to actually equalize. Like, they could actually have, you know. Vicario, we all know is not good at corners. Try get a corner, throw Maguire there. We're actually a very short side, to be honest. We're not a very tall defensive side. We're actually quite short. Without Romero and Van de Ven, all those guys, I think, are below 5'8". Or maybe that's a lie. But they're like they're like 5'8" and below. Like, we're not a tall squad. So just do corners. Route one. Change your tactics. So that's why I was disappointed in Amorim, because I'm like, yo, bro, listen. Put on a kid who's got energy in the 80th or 70th minute and just hope for the best. Like, what do you have to lose at this point? Because right now, if you lose Bruno, if you lose even Garnacho, if you lose Casemiro, you're cooked. It's done. Why risk it? Like, give people a chance. I'm even surprised that Ahmad got injured in training. There should be a question to be asked, like, what happened to have a season-ending injury in training? What's going on over there? So, I don't know. I think this guy... Okay, maybe I have one question to throw out at you guys. Do you guys think that Rude would have done a much better job at this point than Amorim has?
No, he would have been worse. That I can safely say. We've seen his body of work at Leicester. Like, it's there for all to see. It would be worse. I think, just to touch on the injuries, I always wonder about the curious case of Mason Mount. What happened to that brother, Mason? Like, since he left Chelsea and he got a big paycheck there, United, he hasn't played more than 3 games in a row. What is happening there? And United are paying his salary. Kudos to the boy Mason for getting himself a nice big paycheck. But, like, where is he? Is he still employed? Are they just lying to us that he's employed by United? He even has the number 7, for crying out loud. So
I got contracted that Luke Shaw disease.
even him, where is he?
He got injured again. He was almost about to make it, and then something else happened. He tweaked his thigh again, and they're like, I guess some more time.
Where is he? Where is Malasia?
I think he even didn't he get sold or
Like you
loaned
see,
out?
like it's just very, very strange things that happen there at the United hospitals there in terms of like the players. But all in all, I think it would be worse. Not worse. Okay, under just going back to Rude, your question there. I think under Rude, it would certainly be worse, but not by a lot. It would probably be like the 27 points or 29 points now. Maybe that'd be like
Yeah.
on 25, give or take, if it was Rude, because he's also another one who is just as atrocious.
Yeah, Rude. That's the fans aren't happy with them right now, and I think he was even getting a few boos when they lost to United in the FA Cup because they were leading in that game, and somehow they let that United team score 2 goals.
Okay. Also, Man United cheated that game. Let's throw it out there. That they shouldn't have lost. I mean, I don't know what would have happened if they went to extra time, but
I mean, sure, it is an offside goal at the end
there
of
were
the day.
5 people offside on that goal. There
Yeah.
were like 4 or 5 players. It wasn't just like close. So
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, Leicester gave a proper Jekyll and Hyde performance that game, where first half good, second half unrecognizable, and from my understanding, that's been a theme of them, since Ruud took over, where it's like they can have a good half. I think even against Liverpool, they had a good like 20 minutes, and then they just fell apart. So yeah, I think they'll probably be in the same position with Ruud. And I don't trust any manager because at the same time, I look at those players, man, and I honestly feel like Rashford is one of the guys who was holding that place together because at least Rashford by himself could just wake up and decide, you know what, I'm going to score a brace today. I'm going to go drive at defenders, shoot from distance, and score 2 screamers, and that's the game. No one else is doing that at United at all. Even Bruno's not doing it anymore. Bruno used to be the penalty
what happened
merchant.
to him? He used to
I
actually
don't know
try.
what happened to Bruno.
What happened to that? Bruno used to try to take the game by the balls and like, yo, listen, fuck all this shit. I'm gonna do one man. What happened to that?
He's just another guy these days. He passes the ball well, which is great. He created that chance for Garnacho to miss. But other than that, yeah, man.
Can I just chime in real quick? Bruno is terrible. I saw Bruno try cross the ball, didn't even beat the first man at least 3 times today. Bruno can't even beat the first man when crossing. Different techniques. He tried strike through the ball, he tried loft it. That guy Danzo started looking like prime Cannavaro there at the back, just heading everything over. I'm like, yo, Bruno, like, give your strikers a chance. Like, corners, the Spurs keeper doesn't come out for corners. Like, try give them a chance. That guy would be hitting first post. And I was like, this guy Bruno, like, no. I think he's also he might be finished as well. I hear people, United fans, talk about they should build the team around Bruno. If that's the case, then they'll become the next Crystal Palace, or they could. I think they could be the next AC Milan. Remember how AC Milan went into the dark periods for a good number of years? United could certainly go down that path if they're not careful. If they continue with this Bruno as our future kind of thing.
Honestly, I think they need it because Everton were on the brink. Like they've been on the brink, but Moyes stepped back in, former Man United coach. And now look at Everton, high flying, 30 points. Now they're ahead of United. The next game, actually, on the 21st of Feb, is United versus Everton. That game is gonna be legendary because Moyes, if he wipes like what Moyes has done with Beto, is just short of amazing. Like. That guy is now a lethal striker, man. Like, and he's been at Everton for 2 years. It's not like he's a new signing. It's just that Moyes has been able to bring it out of him. Like now the guy is cooking, and so I also just want to look at like the next 5 matches real quick because it's just good to kind of see like where's the light here. Because so United, like I said, they play Everton, then they play Ipswich, and then they play Arsenal, then they go to Leicester. Then they go to Nottingham Forest, Man City, Newcastle. There's like a period there, that Forest City Newcastle period there. It's not looking cute. It is not looking cute at all. So it's gonna be a tough one. Like, so in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Wait.
6, in the next 6 games, 4 of those teams are top 5 teams in the Premier League.
Wait, brother. I mean, you're talking about the top 5 teams. What about the bottom 5 teams? They're playing relegation candidates. They're playing their competition right there.
Yeah, so they're playing their competition and the top 5. Yeah,
Yeah, like those are not easy games.
No, I wasn't trying to say the easy games. I was just trying to say like they're hard. And yeah, that's a very valid point. That they're also playing teams in and around them, but just that it's tough in the sense that they're playing teams that are ready to like that. Yeah, they won't even be able to hold a candle to them. I'm sure it'll be a dogfight between United and Ipswich. I can see that being like, and then Delap just comes in last minute header. Oh my days, that's gonna erupt the stands. That's gonna. So,
Wait, are they playing at Ipswich's home?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
no,
playing Ipswich at home.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so
They should pick up their points now because in April, I don't see them picking up points. Like, the whole of April. Like, without a shadow of a doubt. Because they have Nottingham Forest away, City at home, Newcastle away, maybe Wolves at home they'll get something, but we saw Wolves today, and Bournemouth away. So they need to get to 40 as soon as possible. I don't know how they negotiate that Arsenal fixture there this year in March, but they need to get to 40 as soon as possible. At least if they can get a draw there and win the other 3, they'll maybe get to 40 because April could be a dark time for United fans. If they think it's dark now, it's going to be a blackout in April.
even May, I'm even looking at May. May is not looking good.
May's deep, man.
May is actually quite deep because, like you say, because like May they play with Brentford, West Ham, Chelsea, Aston Villa. My guy, there's nothing easy there. There's nothing that I'm like, okay. So
Oh, wait a minute. The return of Rashford on the final day? Imagine they get relegated. And Rashford just right there.
I don't know. Can Rashford even? He
No, he can't play.
He can't. He'll be in the stands. He'll be there.
He'll be the stands. Yeah.
But I'll be proper drama. Yeah, just
Yeah, so Leicester and Ipswich would be relegation 6-pointers. They have to win those. Those are
They have
cup
to.
finals. Or else
Yeah.
it's going to get dire.
It is gonna get dire, isn't it? I didn't even know it was this bad. Damn, this just got bleak real quick. I thought maybe there was gonna be like a spell where like, but sheesh. So like, the combination of games, on all their injuries, it's not looking good. It's
It
actually
isn't.
and no business. And that's the crazy thing. Did they even buy anyone in Jan?
they bought the left back Dorgu.
Dogu and another player, his name Heaven. Maybe he'll be their savior in these dark times.
What position does Heaven play?
The center back. Listen, I'll never understand, bro. Like Heaven and Chido Obi, I wish them nothing but the best. But those brothers looked at Arsenal and they were like, you know what? I'm good. I can accept young players leaving Arsenal because they want to try and go make their name somewhere else. But they chose United this season. Oh my days, those two brothers, man. I good luck to them, bro. Good luck. They're gonna need it.
It's not looking good, boys. I actually have to say, as a United fan, if you're a United fan, you're listening to this, it's not looking good. The only saving grace that they have is that they're on 29 points right now, and Ipswich at 18 to 17. So United currently is 12 points ahead of Ipswich. So there's at least a 4-game buffer.
I mean, look, I would think you would think that would be enough. Like if a team was fighting relegation and they were 12 points above relegation, typically that's like, yeah, that's good. But like, I think Amorim has 4 wins. So since he there's been a point he's collected 12 points. 12. Like, just 12. If you can only collect 12 points in 4 months, bro, you're playing your relegation rivals, you're playing them now. Like, can we trust you to collect another 12 points until the end of the season with injuries and another competition, another 2 competitions? Good luck to y'all.
Honestly, like if they lose to Ipswich and they lose to Leicester, there's only 2 games left, so they can only afford to lose 2 more games essentially at this point.
Bro, it's rough. Like, under sometimes, like, their form until now has been relegation form. Like, this is how we would expect Leicester to perform, Wolves to perform, and now you have to play them with a thin squad. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was this bad until we just started talking about it.
I think just based on just knowing the Premier League and seeing the trajectory of all these teams, Southampton is gone. We can safely say Southampton is gone. And then I think Leicester is also gone. But interestingly enough, I see Wolves picking up a few more points than United. I think United this season will finish 17th or 18th. And I don't know what's going to happen then. And the worst part is they can't sign anyone. There's no one that can save them at this point. Like,
yeah, actually, I was reading an article that said because the current PSR rules are being extended by a year, that impacts Man United more than anyone else because, like the way the rules work, you can't have huge changes in wages over a season. So unless they magically make serious money from Rashford, Garnacho, all the top stars, you're talking about like making like 200 million because they won't be in Europe at all, unless they win the Europa League. They have to make serious income. Then nothing's going to happen. And that's just to balance the books. They won't even be able to spend that money. Like you have to sell 100 mil just to hang in here. I don't know, man.
Maybe that's why I think they held off on selling Garnacho, because that could be the one person they sacrificed during the summer. And they loaned out Rashford because his value was down. And then maybe they're hoping that he can turn around his form and he can be profits on the balance sheet come August.
Hopefully. I mean, yeah. They could potentially turn those 2 guys around into 150 million. Hopefully. In the best case. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, also in Sancho, right? If Chelsea actually take him on, but right now...
But that's like 20 mil. So I don't think that'll help.
That's some pocket change.
Yeah. Damn it, man. It's actually looking quite bleak. I had no idea it was this bad. I actually had no idea. It's not good at all. It's not good at all. Yo.
Kind of makes you wait because a Spurs fan, huh?
Like I am over the mood. Like I thought our shit was bad, but this. Also, Spurs fans apparently were protesting at the game, before it started, because hey man, we're tired. So I think if we lost against United today, things could have also not been looking good. But the fact that we won calms things a bit down a bit more, and all we can do at this point is hope for the best. And now that people come back from injuries, I'm a bit more hopeful. But still, Ange out, Levy out. But that's a story for another day. Anyway, I think that's enough on United. I think we've made our point across. We've really kicked this dead horse, because at this point, yeah. They're not looking good. No. They're not looking good. Well, I think we're at that stage now. When these race people, before they kill a racehorse, I think we're at that stage where the horse is about to run its final race as a charity thing, and they go and shoot it in the back afterwards. That's what these guys do. I think we're almost at that stage where
very soon we're going to start praising them, just because, each of us has to have that one final meal, just make it feel good before you...
Exactly.
Yeah. but roll love those praises. They work so hard. Very determined group.
Yeah, it's so I guess we'll just have to see and wait and see what happens. But anyway, thank you so much, listener. We appreciate you hanging out with us, and yeah, boys, we will catch the listener on the next one. So, listener, peace out.
Yeah.